Welcome back to the Canada Specialist Program webinar series. I'm joined today by Michaela, your local representative for Northwest Territories Tourism. Michaela, please take it away.
Thank you so much, Charlie. Well, hello to Canada's North. My name is Michaela, and I'm happy to give you an introduction to Canada's Northwest Territories. The Northwest Territories are located centrally in between the Yukon on the left and Nunavut on the right, and above British Columbia, Alberta, and Saskatchewan. They are 5 times the size of the UK and cover 1,170,000 square kilometers. The total population of the NWT is only 42,000 people, and 20,000 of us live in Yellowknife. This means we have plenty of wide open spaces to escape the city life and connect with nature. Yellowknife is the NWT's capital city and welcomes daily flight service on Air Canada, WestJet, and Canadian North. Our key access hubs are Vancouver, Calgary, and Edmonton. I've included as well direct flight times from certain cities to Yellowknife. As you can see, it actually doesn't take very long to travel to the NWT. So the slide that you've just seen is actually a little outdated because we have news. As of December 2023, Air Canada is launching direct flights 3 times a week between Toronto and Yellowknife, beginning in early December, and Air North is operating the same route in the summer season. So what's unique up here? The NWT is known for our spectacular northern lights. We have 2 aurora seasons in the NWT. The fall season begins mid-August and goes until early October. The second season is our winter season and runs from late November to early April. During these 2 aurora seasons, there is approximately 98% chance of seeing the aurora, which is higher than anywhere else in the world. Over the course of a year, you will be able to view the aurora over 240 nights. The reason for Yellowknife being known as the aurora capital of the world is explained in this graphic. Specifically, the location of Yellowknife, it's situated underneath the aurora oval with the highest percentage of seeing the northern lights. Unlike destinations like Iceland and Finland, Yellowknife is a flat destination, no mountains, and away from oceans, which typically create cloud cover. The NWT being away from these things makes it the best place on Earth to view the aurora. Just to give you all a better visual of our aurora seasons, here's a map illustrating just that. So you will notice that the midnight sun hinders our view of the lights most of the summer, with the northern lights returning mid-August. Then in October, freeze-up happens, and with it comes the cloudy weather in October and November. The lights will then return in late November. Aurora and the flights mentioned earlier offer totally new options for your clients and brand new NWT packages combining Toronto, Niagara Falls, and the Northern Lights in Yellowknife. Packages are already available with first-class holidays and My Canada trips, and were just made available a few weeks ago, actually. I have mentioned that we only have 42,000 people living in the NWT. This means that we have more wildlife than people, and it's a spectacular destination to view all sorts of animals such as wolves, black bear, lynx, moose, caribou, and of course, grizzly bears. Now I would like to take you through some of the regions in the NWT. This region, called North Slave, is home to Yellowknife, the capital city, and it sits on the shores of Great Slave Lake, which is the deepest lake in North America and the 10th largest fresh body of water in the world. Yellowknife also has the greatest variety of aurora suppliers in the NWT, offering all sorts of Northern Lights experiences. So this is an aerial shot of Yellowknife. First-time visitors are often surprised by the amount of amenities and services that the capital city has to offer while being surrounded by nature. Rich in history, Yellowknife offers many opportunities to experience the North's cultural heritage. A must-see when visiting Yellowknife is the spectacular Prince of Wales Northern Heritage Centre. With free daily tours, self-guided over the tour guide, this stunning museum houses important artifacts, exhibits, and information that reflects the heritage of the Northwest Territories and its people and cultures. The Northwest Territories is actually the diamond capital of North America. I bet you didn't know that yet. We're home to 3 producing diamond mines, generating the vast majority of Canada's diamond wealth. All 3 mines are located in our most remote regions and employ thousands of people, and it's one of the biggest private contributors to the North's economy. You can actually stop by the NWT Diamond Center in Yellowknife for a history lesson about the diamond mines with an interactive exhibit, and even purchase a northern diamond or a piece of jewelry to bring home. A great souvenir of your trip in the NWT, as long as your travel budget allows it. The Western Arctic region is the northernmost region. Communities to note in this region here are Inuvik and Tuktoyaktuk. The region is home to the famed Dempster Highway, which starts in Dawson City, Yukon, and ends in Inuvik 740 kilometers later. The Dempster is the only wilderness route crossing the Arctic Circle and is offering incredible scenery, wide open spaces, and remote beauty. Driving can take 3 to 4 days to complete, depending on how many stops you take. There's only one hotel, which is Eagle Plains Motel, about halfway. Gas stations are also limited, and the first one driving up is also Eagle Plains. I've included a map of the route. As mentioned, this route is approximately 740 kilometers in length. While driving this route, you must use a ferry to cross over 2 rivers, one of which is the longest river in Canada. The Arctic Circle is an accomplishment in itself and a famous photo, and of course, a selfie stop. Inuvik is end of the Dempster Highway and gateway to the Western Arctic. The community thrives on the land, the nature, and the culture, as Inuvik is the traditional land of the Inuit, the Gwich'in, and the Métis people, complemented by a variety of non-Indigenous people who have made Inuvik their home. Travelers find hotels, restaurants, campgrounds, grocery stores, and even a hospital. Inuvik is also start of the Inuvik-Tuktoyaktuk Highway, which is the first year-round road leading 137 kilometers to the Arctic Ocean and the first to connect Canada's 3 coasts by land. The drive alone on this unique highway is an epic experience through a completely undeveloped area characterized by a mostly frozen landscape of lakes and rivers. At the end of the road, an Arctic community awaits that could hardly be wilder and more untouched, Tuktoyaktuk. Tuktoyaktuk is roughly 2 hours drive from Inuvik, and while still developing tourism product, lots of day trip options are available from Inuvik. The story of this small Inuvialuit community located on this narrow spit of land on the edge of the Beaufort Sea is storied and legendary in northern Canada. Tuktoyaktuk, which literally translates to looks like a big caribou. Tuk is home to beluga whales, seals, and dozens of migratory birds. Although Tuk today has southern-style homes, an airport, and internet access, the old traditions here are still a pervasive part of everyday life. Visitors are invited to discover the differences between the traditional and modern way of life, and there's really much to learn about here. The Inuvialuit language, traditional crafts and indigenous arts, dance and music, traditional dress and games, or harvesting for self-sufficiency and local food. Local vendors facilitate cultural tours of the community and also of the surrounding areas. When you have reached Tuk, you shouldn't miss out on taking a photo of the Arctic Ocean sign. You are an adventurer. So the Mackenzie Delta, that's what you see when you're driving that road, the Inuvik-Tuktoyaktuk Highway. The Mackenzie Delta has the world's highest density of pingos. There are about 1,350 of the mysterious mounds here, and there are spectacular sights when driving that highway. 8 of them, including the proud Ibiyuk that we see here in the picture, are in the 16 square kilometer Pingo National Landmark outside Tuktoyaktuk under the care of Parks Canada. Aside from the giant Ibiyuk, the Pingos in the Pingo Canadian Landmark range in height from 5 to 36 meters. They represent different stages of growth, from newborn baby Pingos to older senior Pingos already in the process of collapsing again. The most massive Pingo in all of Canada and the second largest in the world is located just outside that small Arctic town of Tuktoyaktuk, and Ibiyuk is higher than 50 meters and more than 300 meters wide at the bottom. And it even gets better. Ibiyuk grows and grows. So it adds a whopping 2 centimeters per year and is estimated to be 1,300 years old. The Decho region is one of the more popular regions due to it being the home of Nahanni National Park Reserve. This region is also popular for travelers who enjoy road travel or RV travel, as you can easily get here from Alberta, BC, or the Yukon. Dramatic wild landscapes crisscrossed by rivers, we call this adventurous highway route in the south of the NWT, the waterfall route. Twin Falls Territorial Park near the Alberta border boasts two spectacular waterfalls, the Alexandra and the Eloise Falls. We see Alexandra Falls here in the picture. They're colored gold by the clay particles of the Hay River. In 2003, an American, adventurer, got the crazy idea to kayak down Alexandra Falls. And we still wonder how, but he actually survived it. But for normal crazy Canada lovers like us, a photo stop at the waterfall is spectacular enough. So the last waterfall that I'm going to show you is Virginia Falls within Nahanni National Park. This park sees less than 1,000 visitors a year. I'm not talking about British visitors only, 1,000 visitors from the world per year, as it's only accessible through air travel or boat. To give some perspective, these waterfalls are double in height of Niagara Falls in Ontario. And when taking a tour of this park and these falls, a floatplane will land above the falls and you will enjoy a 30-minute walk on a well-maintained boardwalk. There are also trails to the base of the falls, depending on your time. Parks Canada staff are on site for interpretation, and you won't find thousands of visitors here at the falls. It's basically just you and everyone in the floatplane, about 4 to 8 people that will share this view with you. Another option to reach the falls is via canoe. However, you will need 10 to 14 days of time to do so. So this is your taxi into the park if you don't have the time to paddle in. And the park was also designated the first UNESCO World Heritage Site in the 1970s. There are different tours of the park, and you can easily spend a full day exploring the Nahanni. There are rocks and peaks, valleys and rivers that hold a lot of history, which your pilot or your tour guide will share with you. That's a little tour into the Northwest Territories. Here are my contact details, and if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.